True Hoop TV, we are joined by Kevin Pelton of ESPN Insider. We are talking about Michael Kidd-Gilchrist's new $52 million four-year contract with the Charlotte Hornets. Kevin, what you think?
I like it for the Hornets. I think both of the rookie extensions we've seen in the last week, Jonas Valanciunas last week with a four-year $64 million deal, seem like guys really taking less than they might have gotten on the open market because they're valuing security.
I don't want to blow up your spot, but you started to say Bobcats and then you switched to Hornets. Do you think that this is a transitional move? This represents a leap from the old bad, stinky Bobcats to a new, brilliant, wonderful Hornets reality?
Well, I don't know if I'll go that far, but I'm kind of high on Charlotte this season now as I look at it. And one big reason why is how good Kidd-Gilchrist has been at the defensive end of the court if he can stay healthy. I mean, they've been basically a top 5 defense the last 2 years when he's played, and they've been an average or worse defense on a per-possession basis when he's been on the bench.
I do wonder about this particular concern, which is that MKG, a lot of his value comes defensively. You're counting on him to be an ace defensive player, and he gets steals very rarely. He's a 1.0 steal percentage rate, I believe, last season. Is that a concern considering that a lot of the elite defensive wings, defensive perimeter players, they make a lot of plays on that end?
It's not a big worry for me, even though I'm high on steals overall. He's definitely an outlier. I put together a spreadsheet last year when I was picking my all-defensive teams, and I put Kidd-Gilchrist on my second team at small forward, and his is the lowest steal rate of any of the perimeter players I even consider. But when you look at his team impact, the Hornets still had slightly more turnovers forced when he was on the court, a slightly better rate, and they were much better across the board everything else. His rebounding from the wing, and then he even gives him a little rim protection above and beyond the fact that he's a good individual defender. So I think it's legit.
So this amount of money he's making, to the casual fan, to somebody who's not following the cap exploding, they might think that's just a gigantic amount. Am I right in thinking that this amount that he's making might be in line with what an average starter gets in the future?
Absolutely. I mean, I think when you look at the fact that we're talking about, a dramatic cap increase first next season and then again in 2017-18, when those will be the first 2 years that this extension covers, that's going to be the equivalent to making $7 or $8 million under this year's amount of money. And, if you value Kidd-Gilchrist RPM, he's going to be worth much more than that. I projected in my insider feature today that he'd be worth $40 million over the first 2 years of the contract when he's going to be making about $24 million.
Well, you heard it here first. It doesn't matter if they're the Bobcats or the Hornets. It is impossible for Charlotte to overpay MKG. Kevin, thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.